Welcome into another edition of That's Deep. I'm Tommy Z, joined as always by Johnny Bravo. We've got a pretty solid card here to look forward to. We got a lot of finishers. We got Fluffy Hernandez taking on Sean Strickland in the main event, so that should be a good one. Very interesting clash of styles. Strickland doesn't really wrestle ever. We know Fluffy wants to get to the takedowns early and often, so be interested to see how that one plays out. But yeah, we had a week off last week, so I know you're excited to be back, Johnny. I'm excited to be back, and got NASCAR. Everything's back for us over here at Keg & Co., the new look show. But how you feeling coming into this one?
Oh, feeling good. Happy to have some fights back. Last week was kind of a dry weekend for fights. I mean, and we had Daytona, which isn't the most exciting race to bet. So,
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, we're coming in here. We've got a whole bunch KSW, Fury card. We got boxing. It's action-packed weekend. Plenty of opportunities to make some money.
Hell yeah. Yeah, good weekend for the fight sports, that's for sure. So we'll jump right into this first fight here. It's one of the more lopsided fights in terms of odds on the card. We got Juliana Miller taking on Carly Giudice. Miller hadn't really looked good since winning the Ultimate Fighter. She did get a win last year. Wasn't the most exciting. She landed a few takedowns and not much more. Taking on Carly Giudice, a pretty good striker, dangerous. She's coming off a couple finishes, and she is a massive favorite, sitting at minus 800 right now. I guess my question to you is, do you think Juliana can hang in this fight, and is she worth anything if you want to bet the spread, or do we just kind of bypass this one altogether?
Yeah, I mean, I really don't know. I mean, Juliana Miller, I mean, she came through the tough house. I mean, she came through relatively unexperienced in MMA. She was only I think 3-1. And then she went through the tough house, and she looked pretty decent, and then came to the UFC and just really hasn't put it all together. Was a massive favorite against Veronica Hardy, which, I mean, that number was clearly wrong, and they were probably basing that number off Hardy's past UFC 10-year or her last fight run, which wasn't the greatest, and she came in a big favorite and just laid an absolute dud. I mean, her skill set, I mean, the striking is pretty bad. Yeah, pretty unorthodox, pretty sloppy. Just her striking defense is just, her head doesn't move. She's just there to be hit. The wrestling is not great, but though if she ends up on the ground, I mean, she does have pretty good BJJ. I mean, that's the advantage I'd probably give her in this fight, is the BJJ game. And yeah, and then crispy Carly Giudice. I mean, I've liked what I've seen from her. I mean, really good technical striking, sharp, crispy, as her nickname is. And yeah, I mean, she finds the target, she lands, she's finishing these girls, she's getting them out of there. She's not looking to really go to decision. So you like that about her. She's looking to get you out of there. Just because the striking is so sharp, and she just lands so clean. She's able to put these girls away. I mean, if she can avoid the ground, and I mean, if she keeps it on the feet, I mean, she is going to absolutely just destroy Juliana Miller on the feet. I mean, it's not even close. There's levels. I mean, she's a minus 950 favorite for a reason. So yeah, I think she probably, I mean, gets her out of there. I mean, Juliana Miller doesn't move her head. So I mean, yeah, I think eventually she finds the knockout and is able to put her away here. I'm kind of liking the KO 2-3 here. But I don't mind the KO either.
Yeah,
it'd probably be a KO 2-3. Will probably be my bet going into this fight.
Yeah, I like the 2-3 look. Juliana, she's not great. She does take a lot of damage, but one thing you can say about her, she's tough. She's scrappy. She's tough, she hangs in there. And if she does, at least try to get the grappling going early, that could save her from taking those early shots. I don't know how much success she'll have with that. I mean, like you said, her wrestling is okay, but it's not like a lock. She's just going to go in there and get takedowns. So yeah, I think it's pretty one-sided, like the odds would state. And yeah, I like the 2-3 look is probably a good way to look at this fight. But moving right along here, we've got somewhat of a storyline type fight. We've got Jordan Levitt taking on Yadir Daval, featherweight bout. Daval was involved in the big controversial fight last year that was flagged for being fixed. It worked out for me because I took a shot on Daval early in the week. I thought he could hang in that fight and had a chance to pull the upset. And then, fight night money came in on him like crazy, and he got down to, minus or plus 120 or something like that, which was wild.
Yeah, it was like a pick'em fight. It was pick'em.
He went off
favorite. He went off favorite, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, a lot of money came in on him. Obviously, he came out and, looked like $1 million. Got the win, so cashed a lot of tickets for a lot of people. But you can't really fault him. I mean, he didn't have any involvement in that. He had no idea the fight was fixed. And he is a pretty good fighter. So taking on Jordan Levitt here, he's a massive favorite, which is, kind of crazy, but the line just keeps going towards him. A lot of people do like him because, he is skilled. Jordan Levitt, guy that's really, really strange in there, just acts strange. He fights strange. Dangerous submission game, but overall, cardio not the greatest, and mostly a grappler submission type guy. But what are your thoughts coming into this one?
Yeah, I don't think you can hold that against Del Valle. I mean, I initially picked Bulgarian in that fight, but I never bet it, and then I just ended up hammering Del Valle on fight day, which was pretty nice. And, I mean, I liked him before that fight. I mean, coming into the UFC, I mean, Conor Matthews, I bet him in the Conor Matthews fight by submission, and he, pretty much ran right through Conor Matthews. So I was high on him coming into the UFC. I think he's a pretty well-rounded guy. I mean, the striking, I like the volume, the boxing. He's got decent power in his hands, good striking. The wrestling is, I mean, he could grapple too as well. Really slick submissions. Likes to pull that. He will pull that guillotine. He can get it. And I mean, I think he's got some potential here. I think he's a decent fighter. And, Jordan Levitt is kind of like, I mean, the guy's in there twerking after wins, and, it's just, I mean, where he's good at, I mean, I guess, you probably want to get this grappling. I mean, get it to the ground and grapple. The striking is just absolutely terrible, even though he's made some slight improvements in that realm. The striking is terrible. The striking defense is bad. He doesn't, another person that just doesn't move their head, that's just right there on the line. And and then like you said, cardio is not the greatest. If he has to wrestle and kind of get extended, it's not the greatest. I mean, I like Del Valle, and I mean, I think Del Valle probably gets him out of there. A sneaky look might be the sub, because we've seen Jordan Levitt sub before by Paddy Pimblett, and who else was it? Paddy Pimblett. Chase Hooper subbed him, so I mean, I could see Del Valle getting to the back and choking him out. Man, I don't know. I got a sneaky feeling this might be a sub here. I like Del Valle and Del Valle inside the distance. And another thing too, Levitt's dropping down here, so that's kind of weird. You've been out for a while, and then now you decide to drop down, which is later in your career, which is never really a good thing, because guys usually doing that, they're dropping down to try to find something, try to see if they can have an advantage, cutting that extra weight. But Del Valle is pretty big himself, so I don't think that'll be a problem.
Yeah, and usually when guys drop down, even if they do go on to have some success in the lower weight class, they usually don't do well in that first fight. It's always an adjustment. And Levitt is not, he's not a huge guy, but he's not the smallest guy at 55. So, I mean, could be interesting. A guy with not the greatest cardio, cutting down extra weight, also doesn't really bode well. So, I like Del Valle here as well. I like the inside the distance look. I could see again 2-3 rounds, 2 and 3, especially round 3. I feel like Devay will really have the advantage, and there's a good shot that he gets the finish there. But yeah, I like the inside the distance look. I think he probably does find the finish. Just overall, I mean, from what I've seen of him, he's just really tough. He's a durable guy. He pushes a pretty good pace, and he's pretty well rounded. So yeah, I think Devay definitely the side here, and I could definitely see a finish. All right, we move right along. We've got Phil Rowe taking on John Paul Lesbignani. I can never say that. Lesbignani. I don't know why I struggle with that so much, but Phil Rowe is a guy who's been around quite a while. He's always relatively competitive in his fights, but he does go to his back a little bit too much, and a lot of close decision losses. Taking on John Paul here, who's coming off the Contender Series, I believe, and looks to have a pretty well-rounded skill set. Rowe is just it's always going to be. It's not a lot of action, so it's kind of up to John Paul how this fight's going to go. But what are your thoughts here?
Yeah, I can't back Phil Rowe. I mean, this guy. I mean, what this guy? I mean, he's just this guy is like he's kind of the one that he's just flaky. Like, I mean, the Sung Woo Ko fight. I mean, he gets absolutely grounded and dominated, and absolutely destroyed on the ground. The Angelusa fight, he's getting absolutely ran through, almost finished. And then, the one thing about him is he has decent cardio, so he can kind of like these guys that go all out to try to finish him, and like he can kind of maintain his cardio through the third round, like he did in the Lusa fight, where he absolutely put it on him. He got destroyed and then absolutely put him on him and was able to get the finish there. I mean, he's long and lanky. The striking is okay. He's just low volume, though, way too low volume. And does have power in his hands, though. He can crack. He can land that knockout shot. He does have pretty good BJJ submission game, but that also tends to him just kind of playing off his back and being fine with just laying there and not really doing anything, because he feels like he's safe on the ground, I guess. I don't know why, But yeah, I mean, it's like I can't bet Phil Rowe. And John Paul, I mean, from what I see, I mean, guy looks pretty decent. I mean, he looks, the striking looks pretty good. He throws a lot of volume early, throws, good power in his hands. I mean, he goes in there and he tries to get you out of there. We've seen in the Contender Series, I mean, that absolute highlight reel head kick knockout, which was pretty crazy. He does, he is, I mean, he has some wrestling too. I mean, I've seen him in his fights. He's shown some kind of wrestling, and he has good BJJ grappling as well. So, I mean, does he go to that game plan though? I'm not too sure if he goes to a wrestling heavy game plan. I think he's probably going to go in there and just blitz Phil Rowe and try to knock him out. I mean, I've never seen this guy John Paul start slow. I see him coming at you, trying to knock you out. The thing that worries me though is kind of the length of Phil Rowe. It could cause some problems, and maybe Phil Rowe gets him up on the cage, and he's just, Phil Rowe's going to be massive in there, so maybe he gets him on the cage and is able to hold him there and kind of wear on John Paul's cardio, which I think is kind of a question mark if it gets extended. Man, I don't know. I've got a weird feeling Phil Rowe gets knocked out here, but I don't know if I can bet it though. I can't bet Phil Rowe, but I don't know if I can bet the John Paul knockout. I'm not sure. I don't know where I'm at on this fight. Maybe a good live betting fight. I don't know. Because I know we grabbed Phil Rowe against Angelusa after he got the piss beat out of him. We got him at a pretty good money line live. So, I mean, I wouldn't mind maybe betting Phil Rowe live if he's like shows a pulse at like plus 700. But other than that, it's tough to get there for me.
Yeah, I kind of thought that coming into this one. You got a guy coming in making his debut that doesn't always go great. if the fight gets extended, the cardio doesn't always check out. And, you know, like you said, Rowe is a guy that he's been down in fights in the past and, you know, getting his ass kicked, even against Kosi, one of the Kosi brothers. He was getting his ass kicked for a round. And then, you know, Kosi gassed out and he just, you know, he put him away. But again, you know, we're talking about Angelusa, Orion Kosi. These are guys that do typically tend to gas out. So, but Phil Rowe's got the ability to capitalize on it. So, and like you said, he is big here. He's like 6'3", so he's going to have a decent size advantage. You know, he can lean on him. We have seen that in his fights where he's leaned on guys. So, yeah, I think John Paul is the side. I just, it's tough for me to ever back Phil Rowe because he's just, like you said, he's kind of flaky. But you know, if he looks live after a round and a half, you know, maybe get a good price there and it's worth a shot. But yeah, John Paul's the side for me, and then yeah, we'll see what happens as the fight plays out.
Yeah, maybe a John Paul KO 1, maybe to start it off, and if it doesn't hit, then you just
probably get a good number on that.
Yeah.
All right, move right along here to a pretty interesting welterweight matchup. We got Ramiz Brahimaj taking on Punahele Soriano, two guys that have kind of had a bit of a resurgence. Soriano was fighting at 185 early in his UFC career, moved down to 170, and for the most part has looked a lot better at the weight class. Ramiz, he's shown he's got, you know, very dangerous submission skills, which we've known all along. But, you know, he's kind of put his game together a little bit. So pretty interesting matchup here to see where these two guys are at. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, this is an interesting one. I mean, we got Ramiz, people weren't really high on him. I didn't see a lot of people, you know, liking him, and, you know, he's dangerous in round one. I mean, like round one, he's you know, pretty slick subs. And like you said, he's kind of evolved his game to where he's kind of like been able to kind of extend guys and still have it. You know, before he was just like kind of a round one guy. You know, and the striking has somewhat improved. I mean, it's okay. Yeah, but he's really slick on the ground, really good submissions. I mean, he's okay. He's on a nice little run right now. I mean, you know, Mickey Gall. I think we bet Mickey Gall in that fight. I don't know. Yeah, I think we did. He got rid of. He smoked Mickey Gall, and yeah, and then who else was it? He fought Billy Golf. I mean, not very good. Austin Vanderford. I mean, yeah. Bellator guy, really? I mean, you know, he smashed Varetnikov, but is he really that good, or is he just Paige Van Zant's husband? You know,
right?
Yeah. And you know, I mean, he's on a nice little three fight win streak, and he's looked good doing it. You know, and then Puna. I mean, I've always been a Puna guy. Puna's always been a guy that I like. You know, he's going to go in there. He's got good boxing, big power in his hands. You know, he's going to go in there and try to take your head off. You know, but you know, we've seen recently where he's kind of evolved his game and kind of turned into like D1 Puna, where he's just like taking guys down and grapple fucking them and just wrestling them. Which, I mean, has kind of his last fight, he looked absolutely terrible in that fight. I mean, he gassed out. I mean, it's because, you know, he was exerting a lot of energy in the wrestling department, you know. So it's interesting. Is he going to go to that kind of game plan here? I mean, I don't think he has to. I think if he keeps it on the feet, I think the boxing is good enough for him to be able to land something on Brahimaj. Yeah, I'm still not really a believer in this Brahimaj guy. I'm just not. I'm rolling with Puna here. Puna probably knocks him out and gets him out of there if he just keeps it on the feet and fights smart, doesn't shoot his head into a ghillie or anything, or find his way in a triangle or something. Yeah, I think Puna, if he just fights like Puna fights, keeps it on the feet, I think he probably knocks out Brahimaj. So, yeah, I'm on Puna here.
Yeah, I've gone back and forth on this fight all week. Originally, I thought Ramirez, and then I thought, because I remember when Puna dropped down after like the first or second fight that he had, I was really impressed because I just thought overall he just looked much better. I thought the cardio looked better. Everything looked good. And like you said, he's got that power, and I expect this fight to be pretty competitive. Both guys can grapple. I don't think Puna's going to rush in to grapple with a guy who has such slick submissions. So I think he's probably going to try to keep it on the feet as much as he can. And he's got, he's a pretty strong guy. He's not easy to take down. And yeah, it just does feel like that power shot is going to land at some point. And I've bet against Ramiz pretty much most of his UFC career. I think I bet Austin Vanderford too. And recently it's not being off. But
I bet Vanderford. I bet Golf. I bet Gall. I did bet Garimbo.
Yeah, I think I did too. But yeah, so it's been I haven't been, my history against Ramiz is not a great one. But my history with Puna is pretty good for the most part. I backed him in all the right spots, and I've backed him since moving down to welterweight. I know he's got a loss in there, but in his last fight didn't look great. But yeah, I just think overall, I mean, he's got the ability to keep it on the feet. He's got the power, and still just not sold on Ramiz if he's got to stand for 3 rounds with Soriano. I don't think that's going to work out too well. So yeah, I like Puna here as well. All right, we'll move right along here. Our next fight is in the women's bantamweight division. These two have faced off in the past. I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago at this point. Cornell was making her debut and got a pretty suspect decision in her home country against Jocelyn Edwards. That fight, Jocelyn took her down quite a bit, had a lot of control time. Cornell did do some good work. I mean, she did land some good shots when the fight was on the feet. But I had a ticket on Edwards that night, and I thought for sure that one was cashing, and it didn't. The odds a little bit different in this fight. Edwards, quite a sizable favorite. She's looked really good lately. She's getting finishes. They've both got some pretty good striking. They both got some power that they've shown recently. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, I was on Edwards in the first fight, and yeah, that fight was that was highway robbery, French robbery. They gifted her a win in her debut. I mean, like you said, Edwards took her down, and kind of just did what she wanted. I mean, she had control. I guess the damage. But even the damage, Cornell didn't even land much. You know what I mean? It was Edwards. It was Edwards that was being the more dominant one and being able to dictate where the fight was going pretty much at all times. She was robbed in that first fight, and then now we got the rematch. And Edwards, she's since that fight. I mean, the improvement she's made. I mean, we used to have questions about her cardio, and she seems to have worked that out. And her takedown defense is not the greatest. That's the one knock on her. But she's shown she's implemented some offensive wrestling in her repertoire. So that's always good. I think she can be taken down still. I'm still not sold on her takedown defense. As we've seen by what's her name, Aline Perez was able to take her down and pretty much do what she wanted there. I'm not sold on her takedown defense, but I don't think she'll have to worry about this in the Cornell fight. Cornell is just pretty much an out-and-out striker, and it's going to be interesting. How is this fight going? How is it going to play out? Like, is it going to be like the first fight where Edwards is going for takedowns, or does she keep it on the feet? It's going to be interesting to see how it goes. But yeah, Edwards has made a bunch of improvements, and like you said, she's cracking girls, she's finishing them. But I mean, maybe not the greatest of competition. I mean, or more durable fighters like Priscilla Cachoeira. I mean, yeah, that's a knock. And then who was it? Vidal. She knocked out, right? She finished Vidal. So she's not finishing the greatest of chicks. So it's still up for grabs. But I like her improvement. She looks good. Yeah, and then Cornell. I mean, I really don't know what to make of her. I mean, she's already an older fighter. I mean, she can't. What more improvements can she really make in her game? She's pretty much a striker. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. Like, it's hard for me to read how the fight is going to play out, but I definitely think the improvements that Edwards has made. I mean, she won the first fight. I mean, she can't really, I think she probably dominates this one and could finish it. Like, she could get Cornell out of there later, but yeah, I like Edwards to pretty much win the fight again and go 2-0 against Nora Cornell. This is a bet I already have. I already have her money line in a parlay, so. Yeah, I like Edwards pretty a lot.
Yeah, I think her game plan in this one's going to be to kind of replicate the first fight a little bit, get those takedowns and get that control time. But I think we'll see her try to land a little bit more damage on the feet. Maybe make it a little bit more decisive. Maybe some more.
Yeah, but does she now maybe just go out there and just try to keep it on the feet?
She could.
Yeah.
I'd be shocked if she didn't land a couple takedowns, though, mix it in there, because she definitely has the advantage there. And there is some risk of the power coming back. But, I mean, overall, I think, she's going to try to just be a little bit more active, maybe put a little bit more damage on her. I'm sure she wants to get that one back in a big way. And I think if she just mixes the whole game together, we're in Texas. Now, Texas has been notorious for horrendous decisions as well. One of the worst states historically. So she could easily get robbed again. But I think she's going to come out here, try to make it more decisive. And, the win over Zombie Girl, not the greatest. Zombie Girl's looked pretty rough lately, but what I will say is that knockout was brutal. One thing you say about Cachoeira, she's tough. She can take a beating. And Edwards, put her out cold, bad, early. So, I mean, got to give her some props for that. But, yeah, I don't know. I just think, the big question mark with Edwards oftentimes is her making weight. So hopefully she comes in on weight for this one. But even if she doesn't, if the fight goes on, she's got a few extra pounds on her to get that grappling going. So yeah, I think Edwards wins. I think she probably try to put her away, try to get a finish, make it decisive. But overall, she's just a better fighter.
Something that might be sneaky might be the sub here. The Jocelyn Edwards by sub.
That would be
sneaky.
That's probably a good price.
Let me look real quick. That's sneaky sub. 650.
Yeah, that's not bad.
KO's 550.
So yeah, they're expecting it to go long.
Yeah.
But yeah, either way, I mean, 650 is not a bad shot. A little sprinkle.
Maybe get, maybe a 2-3 sub, get you up to like 15, 18.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It could be fun.
Yeah, that could be interesting.
All right, we'll move right along here. Got a flyweight bout. Alden Correa taking on Luis Gurriel. Gurriel has just not looked good since joining the UFC. Came in undefeated, coming off the Contender Series. It's gone 0-2. Stints has not looked good. It's just been a tough run for him. Correa, on the other hand, has come in and he's looked pretty good. Got a couple finishes. Correa, pretty sizable favorite here. What are your thoughts coming into this one?
Yeah, I was kind of high on Gurule coming into the UFC. I thought he was a pretty good fighter and had a good skill set, but I mean, just hasn't panned out in the UFC. I mean, I bet him in his first 2 fights, but I got burned pretty badly. In his last fight, I mean, against Jesus Aguilar, a guy who is a grappler and not even a striker, and I don't think he's probably before that fight probably landed more than like 25 significant strikes in a fight. And he absolutely, I mean, he landed 80 something significant strikes on this guy. So I mean, that's just a really, really bad look. And yeah, he just hasn't looked good. I mean, just anywhere. I mean, the cardio looks like shit. I mean, his head is no movement, no nothing. He's just there pretty much getting cracked. He's not even throwing volume, really. He just hasn't looked good. And, you know, Correa, I mean, came in short notice against Costa. And, I mean, I was on Costa in that fight. I'm not going to lie. I thought Costa would probably finish him. And he, you know, he surprised me. You know what I mean? And, you know, the striking looks really good. Looks really sharp. Has power in his hands. Yeah, pretty. You know, he's at a good gym. He's training with Josh Van and those boys up there. So, yeah, this is kind of a hometown fight for him here. So, I mean, it is a hometown fight. He is from Houston. So, yeah, you know, I think this kid has the potential to maybe be good, you know. So, yeah, I think Correa, I don't think Goulet is UFC level. So, I think Correa gets him out of there and knocks him out. I think he finishes him. I think he catches him and puts Goulet away. And we might, well, he probably got a 4-fight contract, so we'll probably see him maybe one more time. But like we've seen, UFC's not scared to cut anybody nowadays. So
right,
yeah, I like Correa here. Correa by knockout, and yeah, that's what I'll be on.
Yeah, I like him a lot in this fight too. I was pretty high on Goulet as well coming in. I thought he looked good, but he has not looked like anything since joining the UFC. So, yeah, I just don't see him having success in this fight. So,
One thing though, I mean, could he show up here and like finally be the guy we thought he was? I don't know. Correa, he has been knocked out before. We've seen him get hurt. So, I mean, you know, that's there. You know, we backed this guy the first 2 times and he let us down, and now we're going against him and watch he fucking does this.
Yeah. I mean, it happens. It
happens a bit. That happens, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's always a fear, but I don't know. I just can't.
Yeah, I can't back him. He's done. He's
and like you said, Aguilar, I don't even know if he had landed in the 20s in strikes before that. I mean, that's a guy that didn't land anything in the UFC. So yeah, that was a bad look. That one put a sour taste in my mouth. And
yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So if something changes on Saturday, we'll see. But yeah, until further notice, Goulet, I'm out on him.
Yep.
All right, moving on to 2 guys you could easily say you're out on. We got another flyweight bout. We got Ode Osborne taking on Alibi Idris. Idris, another guy that burned me bad last year. He came in as a big favorite, had him in a couple parlays on the coming off the finals for the Ultimate Fighter, and just laid an egg against Joseph Morales. Now, I will say Morales has shown that he's maybe better than what his original run in the UFC is, but I did not like the way Alibi fought in that one. He just, to me, I saw quit in him, and I just felt like he was overwhelmed and he gave up. But he's taking on Ode Osborne, who's a guy who he knows how to lose fights. He's very talented, very skilled. He's dangerous, but yeah, I mean, he's found a way to lose a lot of fights that he's lost more than his opponents, find a way to win. But yeah, I don't know. Osborne's slight dog in this one. I think he's plus 110. It's basically a pick 'em. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, Idris, he looked like $1 million in the tough house. You know, and then in the finale, I mean, just, you know, he's got all the skills. I mean, he's got, you know, pretty good striking, flashy striking, a lot of spinning shit. He's got wrestling. He's one of these like Kazakhstan guys, so you know they're always tough guys and always have wrestling in their back pocket. So yeah, I mean he did burn me. I was high on him, but I think we were just kind of underestimating Morales. Yeah, because I think Morales is actually pretty good. He didn't look great in the house, but I mean, since the finale, you know, he did what he had to do to get to the finale, and then he looked at like $1 million in the finale, and then he's got, you know, some UFC win since then. So, and he's looked good doing it. So, I mean, I don't really want to hold that too much against Idris. You know, it was a bad look. Like you said, he kind of looked like for a way out when he just started getting smashed. Yeah, he really had no answer, and then that fight, it was just weird, a weird performance. I'm gonna chuck that performance out. I'm still high on this guy. I still think he has some potential. And yeah, Ode, kind of just another one of these kind of like Phil Rowe, fluky kind of guys. I mean, Ode can beat almost anybody on any day, and he can lose to anybody on any day. Like the Steve Erceg fight. I mean, for a loss, I mean, he gave Steve Erceg all he could handle in that fight. You know, and he looked pretty good in that fight. And, you know, it's like some fights, like the Ronaldo Rodriguez fight, where he clips him, hurts him, doesn't finish him, and then just gasses out and gets grapple fucked. You know what I mean? Cardio is a big question, but the striking is good. I mean, he's got good power in his hand. He can crack. So that if he lands on the chin, he can put you away. He does have big power. It's just the cardio shit, and I think the defensive wrestling isn't very good. We've seen him sub before. He can be taken down, and another guy that's kind of doesn't look to get back up. He's kind of just content on laying on his back, which is not something you like to see. But, you know, Ode is always dangerous, and he can always fluke one of these, you know, wins and land something big. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm going to have to ride with Idris just one. I'm going to give him one last try here. I think he's able to get takedowns here. I think he's able to wear on Ode and probably just wrestle fuck him and just dominate on the ground. Probably win a decision. Yeah, I like Idris here. Idris by decision. Idris money line is good enough for me. So, yeah, that's where I'm at.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna take the dog shot here on Ode. It's not a big shot, but I just feel like he does have the explosiveness to make something happen early. And yeah, I don't know. I guess I just want to see what Idris really has. I feel like this will be a good test to, you know, see, you know, maybe if that fight with Morales was, I wouldn't say a fluke, but, you know, a bad performance against a guy who had a really good performance and who actually is pretty good. So, you know, he could come out here and just look amazing. But I don't know, man. Ode, I just feel like Ode's kind of got the game to put it on him early, and then it's just going to be a matter of, does he have that heart to fight back when he's down, or does he just come out and, you know, take Ode down and just kind of do his thing, which is more than possible. But I don't know. I'm going to roll with Ode here. You know, plus 110, small underdog shot here. I think it's kind of it's 50-50 fight, like the odds basically say. And I think, honestly, I don't know. I think either guy wins by finish. I just think most of Ode's losses, he gets caught in something. And he's got power coming back, and so I don't know. I could see this fight going 3 rounds easy, but I could also see a world where either one of these guys gets a finish. So, you know, very not a strong take on this fight. A lot of question marks with both guys, but I'm gonna take the dog shot with Ode, and yeah, we'll call it that.
Ode's just another guy that I can't like back anymore. I don't know. Exactly. Just one of those guys that he's burned me more than Idris has. So let's just say
that's true. Probably by about 4 times.
Significant. Yeah. So
yeah.
it's like I'm interested in watching this one though. It should be a good one.
Yeah, it'll be a fun fight regardless.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to a couple more guys who have burned me on more than one occasion. We got Chidi and Njokuani taking on Carlos Leal, welterweight bout. Chidi looked another guy that looked really good moving down a weight class until I believe it was his last fight. He just lost. Taking on Carlos Leal, a guy who I bet against, and he comes out and looks dominant, and then I bet on him, and he just gets absolutely flatlined. So I can't get that guy right, at least to start his UFC career. But, both guys, dangerous. Both guys have power, but, question marks with both as well. What are your thoughts coming into this one?
Yeah, Chidi bang bang. Yeah, Chidi is. We pretty much know what we're getting out of Chidi. Really good Muay Thai striking. That's his specialty. I mean, not a good wrestler, not a good defensive wrestler. He can be taken down and held down. No defensive grappling, but I don't think there's going to be wrestling in this fight. These are two strikers that are probably going to go in there and stand and bang. So Chidi's going to get his fight, but it's kind of another guy. Chidi, you can't really trust this guy. I mean, he's not really, he's a really good striker and has big power. I mean, world-class Muay Thai. But yeah, I mean, the cardio is absolute dog shit. He tires out in fights. And another thing, like you were saying, he like this guy, like you were saying about Idris, I mean, this guy has the same thing. He'll look for a way out. If it's not going his way, he's getting hit and he's getting hurt, he'll quit. He'll look for a way out.
Yeah.
But he's dangerous and has the skills, you know what I mean? So it's like he's kind of fluky, and he was on a nice little run before his last fight, which I was actually on Jake Matthews in that fight, and he got the sub on. He finally got his sub against Chidi. But he was on a nice little run before that. Zaleski Dos Santos, Jared Gooden, Reese McKee kind of fought tooth and nail with Reese McKee in a split. So that's not a great look. Jared Gooden's pretty terrible, and Zaleski was able to get him out of there. But we've seen Zaleski not really the fighter he once used to be. So. And, Carlos Leal, I mean, guy came in, from PFL. We've seen him, he was over there in PFL for a while fighting those bums over there. And then he came over and, had a really good performance against, what's his name? The wrestler. The wrestler guy. Renat had a good performance with Renat. Where a lot of people thought that he won that fight, which I had a Renat ticket in my back pocket, so I'm not screaming, robbery, but I think he probably beat Renat. I mean, most definitely beat Renat in that fight, and then he gets Alex Morono. I mean, and absolutely, we've seen Alex Morono's kind of a punching bag now, though. I mean, he's a bag of milk. He's just a punching bag. And then in his last fight against 59-year-old, 65-year-old Muslim Sadikov, this guy absolutely fights like a straight fucking idiot. I knew as soon as that fight started, I knew my bet was a loss. The guy ran out there, no defense, hands down, just fucking throwing bombs with fucking the kung fu fucking guy, what Muslim,
Yeah.
The king of kung fu, or whatever the fuck they call him. Yeah. So, and then he gets absolutely just fucking nuked with the left counter hook. Boom! Starched. All right, as a minus, he was like minus 700 in that fight. It was fucking nuts, man. And, it's like, fuck. Okay. We see that. He's just an idiot that goes out there and, I thought maybe he got a little too cocky from the Morono performance, because he did the same thing with Morono, and Morono just had nothing to fire back, and he tried to do the same game plan against Muslim and got caught. Man, this line has absolutely gone crazy. I mean, Leal earlier in the week was like minus 300, so now he's all the way down to minus 125, which is, I mean, that's a pretty big move throughout the week. It seems like everybody's on Cheaty, and man, I kind of want to back Cheaty too, but this is another one where I can't trust a guy to like fucking with my money, man. But and then miss the line too. That's another thing too. The line, Cheaty was a big dog. I don't know. I'm thinking maybe under here. Maybe get the unders here. Fight ends by KO. I think we see a knockout. I think someone's getting knocked out. I don't know who it is. But as for the show for a fighter to win, I think Cheaty knocks him out. But am I going to bet it? I'm not too sure right now. Maybe if I get a couple Coronas or Stellas in me, then maybe I will. But as of now, I'm gonna pick Cheaty by knockout, and I like the unders. I'll definitely be on the unders, and the fight ends by KO and parlay.
Yeah, that was my strong take on this fight. I think one of these guys does get knocked out because we can almost guarantee Leal's just going to come out and be throwing bombs. And again, Cheaty's got some pretty good size, and he does have good range. But he is a terrible nail. Like, he's a great hammer, bad nail. So if Leal does start, raining down on him, he could look for the door. So I think either one of these guys wins by KO, and I think it probably happens pretty early because it's just the way Leal fights. I mean, I don't know, maybe he changes his game plan after just getting flatlined in the last fight, but I don't know. I don't know if he's got that kind of game, if he's willing to kind of stand and trade, especially with a guy who's going to have some size on him, going to have some, reach on him. So not going to be easy to kind of pace himself. So, yeah, I mean, I like Cheaty here. I think by knockout, I think, like I said, one of these guys is going to sleep. I just think Cheaty's much more technical. And if he just kind of sits back and picks his shots, he probably finds the button. And, Leal's coming off a pretty brutal knockout because he got flattened in that fight. He ran into the punch, essentially.
Yep.
I think I remember on the show, I was like, well, one thing you can count on is this guy putting up volume. And as soon as I said that, he was laying on the
he was flatlined on the ground. Yeah, sleeping. Yeah.
So, I think this is going to be if you like violence, this is going to be a good fight to watch for sure. But yeah, give me Cheaty as well. All right, moving right along here. We've got again, massive question marks with both guys. Middleweight bout. We got Zach Reese, who's extremely explosive. He's got big power, cardio, not the greatest. And then we got Michel Pereira, who, I mean, the guy has won a lot of fights in the UFC. He's looked really good a lot. And there was a point there where he seemed like he was fighting pretty disciplined and he was kind of on a good little run. And then Fluffy just kind of, I feel like he just took his soul and he just has not looked good in recent fights. You got Zach Reese as a dog here. The only time you really ever want to bet this guy is as a dog. But do you ever want to bet Zach Reese? Big question marks. Like I said, what are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, this is another two fucking flaky guys that, I mean, Pereira has stolen a lot of money from me over the last little run he's had. He gets knocked out by Kyle Dawkins in his last fight. I don't know where this guy's commitment is, man. He looks just absolutely, he looks cooked out there. He looked terrible. The Dawkins fight, he just gets absolutely just starched and nuked by Dawkins. The Abuse fight, he just didn't do anything in that fight and just gassed out and just looked horrible. And Fluffy was the fight. Fluffy is kind of the one that kind of just started this whole kind of downhill for Pereira. I mean, I think I even bet Pereira in that. We bet Pereira in that Fluffy fight, I think.
I think we did.
Yeah, we did bet. We did bet him in that fight. Yeah, and I mean, he just got absolute. I mean, he did hurt Fluffy in that first round, kind of to the body. But after that, I mean, it was all just one-way traffic and just absolutely just got ragdolled and just absolutely destroyed. And then the next two fights, he looks like absolute dog shit. Yeah, but he's a big explosive striker. His cardio's questionable. He does. He used to do a lot of the fancy, spinning shit, flipping backflips in the octagon and all kinds of stuff. We running around, jumping off the fence, and doing all the stupid shit. But we really don't see that from him anymore. Yeah, I don't know what to expect from him. You know what I mean? It's hard to tell. I think that's his first knockout loss he's coming off of. No, he's gotten knocked out a couple times.
Yeah, he's been knocked out.
Yeah, but I mean, as of recent,
yeah, it's been a while.
I don't know. I don't know where this guy's heart's at. Is he coming in here for a check? Is he not? I mean, he's doing video game streams. Is he really taking it serious? He's a streamer now. I don't know if you've seen that. He's streaming on GTA Online and just I don't know. Yeah, I guess So it's man, is this guy committed? Is he really in the game? Yeah, it's hard to tell, man. And then Zachary Reese, I mean, this guy cannot be trusted. I mean, I don't think he's very good. I mean, he has power in his hands. He has some slick submissions, I guess, some grappling if it gets there, but he's got no heart, no cardio, no chin. Yeah, I'm just not a big Zach Reese guy. This is another one where it's kind of two guys where I really don't trust to bet a money line on either one. And could I see this finishing in the first round? Yeah, I could see either guy getting a finish in the first round, but could I see it going, 3 rounds where these two are just gassed and it's just a sloppy, ugly fight? Yeah, I mean, I could see that too. I really don't like this fight betting wise. I mean, I'd lean Pereira, but I don't think I can bet this guy anymore until he shows me something. I just think he's cooked. I think he's done. But I'm picking him because I just can't pick Zach Reese to win a fight in the UFC. So I'm picking Pereira simply because I can't pick Zach Reese to win a fight in the UFC. I mean, Jackson McVeigh in that last fight, I mean, dude was getting fucking absolutely fucking destroyed and then fluked into that win. You know what I mean? Jackson McVeigh was fucking you up, dude. It's just a bad look, and Jackson McVeigh sucks. And, you got the finish and, you did what you had to do. But, I mean, still, just not a great performance, And then you got the drunk uncle, you couldn't get him out of there. You know what I mean? He's a punching bag.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it's just I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe violence, but I might just pass this fight altogether and not even bet it. But for the show, pick Pereira. But, yeah. Confidence level 1.
I like the violence look more than anything. But back when I couldn't bet on the fights and I only had DFS, I always just had a rule of thumb. If it's two bad fighters, I just would pick the underdog. And I feel like at this point, this is kind of that situation. I feel like they're just two bad fighters right now. 2 years ago, I would be on Pereira all day. But like you said, I don't know where he's at mentally. I just feel like he's kind of checked out. And he's never been a guy that was super reliable, but he had that little run where he kind of, was toned it down a little bit and showed his skill set, which, I do think he's got the better skill set of the two. I don't think his cardio is great, but I think he's got the better cardio. But yeah, I don't know. It's two bad fighters. I expect somebody to get finished. But I'll roll with the dog here in Reese, which is it's just hard to say. But the way Pereira's looked it's just been so bad.
We get to see a shitty walkout dance from Michelle Pereira again.
Yeah, let's go. We do get that.
Let's go.
That's something to look forward to. But yeah, like I said, I mean, I'll just take the dog shot here, and yeah, it is what it is. All right, moving right along here. We've got a welterweight battle between Jacoby Smith and Josiah Harrell. Harrell is a guy who was supposed to fight in the UFC two-ish years ago, and got that brain injury. His brain injury got noticed during the medicals, and he was pulled from the card. And since he's won 4 fights outside of the UFC since getting that taken care of, he had brain surgery, which is pretty crazy to come back and fight. But here he is. He's on a good winning streak. He's never lost. Taking on Jacoby Smith, who's extremely explosive, very good wrestler. But we saw in his last fight, cardio, may not be the greatest. He got the win, he got the finish, but he definitely looked like he was fading pretty bad in that one. I think this is a pretty interesting fight, and I think from a live perspective, it's even more interesting. But what are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, this should be an interesting one. I mean, Jacoby Smith, we were all high on him. I mean, we thought he would just absolutely, run through Nico Price, and that necessarily wasn't the case. He took him a while to get going until he finally found that submission late in round 2. He just didn't look great against Nico. I don't know what it is, but yeah, I mean the guy. I mean he's an athletic monster. I mean he's college wrestler, Oklahoma State. Where DC's from. I think he trains with DC, so that's good for him. So yeah, really strong wrestling. Good power in his hands, decent striking. And like you said, maybe the cardio didn't really check out in the last fight, but he's never really been the cardio never really was a question before the last fight. So maybe that was just a one-time kind of thing, where, I don't know, kind of just weird. But yeah, I mean, I think he's skilled, and I like his skill set. I mean, and then Harrell, he had the brain bleed. He was supposed to fight JDM. And then, he got pulled from that fight with the brain bleed. And then Brazil Hoffus steps in, and yeah, we got that fight. And then now he gets his chance here, And watching the tape on this guy, I mean, he looks okay. I mean, the takedown defense is something that isn't great, But I mean, he can be taken down. He can be grappled. The striking is okay. I mean, he has offensive wrestling of his own. He's a pretty good wrestler in his own right. The thing that I like, though, is his cardio. He's able to just maintain through rounds. I mean, a lot of his wins are kind of, he was the underdog in his last couple of fights on the regional scene, and, against good wrestlers who they took him down early. They wrestled him, and then they gassed out, and he was able to just withstand and just kind of, survive and kind of just, outpace these guys and get them out of there. He's looked good. But yeah, it's a short notice. I mean, I don't know. This is also another money line that's came crashing down. Jacoby Smith was minus 500. Now he's down to minus 275, 285. So yeah, I see a lot of Twitter money, a lot of public, money kind of taking a shot here on the dog, which is kind of interesting. I think from what I see, he looks like a good fighter, but I don't know. I just think Jacoby Smith. I mean, he's been planning for this fight. I think he's the better wrestler here. So as long as his cardio holds up and as long as he doesn't gas, I think he can just, take him down and just pretty much do whatever he wants with them on the ground. But Harold looks like he could be pretty good and has some skills. So could make, like you said, for another good live betting opportunity. So, yeah, probably want to watch this one live. I'm picking Smith here to win and probably get a ground and pound finish. And yeah, but this is one where you can look at live. I think it will be interesting. So, yeah.
Yeah, I like Smith. I think he should win this fight. So I'm picking him to win, but I'm definitely going to be looking at a live betting opportunity with Harrell. I mean, he's I just think he can hang in fights, and if Smith starts to fade, he's not going to be able to just outwork like Nico Price. Nico Price is cooked. I mean, that guy is completely cooked, and he was able to, even though he was tired, was still able to get the sub on Nico. But I think Harrell is, he's not that kind of guy. He's a guy, he hasn't lost yet. He's not going to quit, and he could very well be live after the first round. And, he could be a massive underdog at that point because, Jacoby Smith is extremely explosive. He's got big power. He can have a phenomenal first round. So, yeah, I think he wins. I just think overall, I mean, he probably learned a little bit from that experience too. Maybe pace himself a little bit or, work on the cardio a little bit. So I like Smith to win, but yeah, I am going to be looking closely at that live line because I think Josiah Harrell is going to have something to say in this fight. So, and this is one I'm looking forward to seeing. All right, we move on to the heavyweight division, and we got Sergey Spivak taking on Ante D'Elia. Spivak is another guy who looks like he's fallen off a little bit as of late. D'Elia coming off a pretty rough KO loss. I mean, fight that probably should have been stopped for as a no contest. It looked like he had knocked out Waldo Cortez Acosta. Turns out it was an eye poke. He thought he won the fight. They restart the fight, and then he ends up getting knocked out. So pretty shitty circumstances for him. But overall, good kickboxer, good fighter. And like I said, Spivak, yeah, he seems like, maybe slowing down a little bit. He's got some good grappling. Striking isn't the greatest, but he's been in there with some pretty heavy hitters. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, interesting heavyweight bout here. Yeah, Sergey Spivak. I mean, he looks cooked. Another guy that looks cooked. I mean, hasn't looked great in his last couple fights. We know what we're getting out of him. I mean, like you said, the boxing, the striking is not very good. It's kind of just looping one shot, looping punches. He does have power, though. That's one thing. All heavyweights have power. But where he really excels at is if he can get you to the ground and get on top. I mean, he's super dangerous on top if he gets it there. I mean, yeah. He's got good ground and pound, good submissions, smothering top game. I mean, he's good. If he can get it there to the ground, I mean, he can do some pretty big damage here on D'Elia. But he just hasn't looked great. I mean, it looks like he hasn't been able to take a punch. I mean, Jelton Almeida knocked him out. I mean, dropped him and finished him with ground and pound. I mean, and Almeida, he never does that. And he was able to do that to Spivak. Yeah, I mean, it's just Spivak is kind of another guy that's kind of hit or miss, man. Another one of these fluky guys that the thing about these fluky guys is seems to always be violence in their fights, so they're always kind of fun to watch, you know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, if he can get takedowns here, I think he dominates and finishes D'Elia, and because I mean, D'Elia, isn't the greatest defensive wrestler. We've seen him, kind of taken down before. Cardio is kind of a question. He's coming off that, that fight where, he thought he won and then got absolutely nuked. So where's his confidence at after that fight? It's been a while, but I mean, it's kind of a quick turnaround, isn't it? that he's coming back from that knockout? That was a pretty devastating knockout too.
November.
That was November. I mean, oh, so like what, 3 months? You're coming back after a knockout like that, which is it's not great because he got flatlined pretty bad in that fight. He's coming around quick. But he's at a good gym. He's with Aspinall and his pops over there. So I mean, he's at a good gym. So we're getting he's good striker, big power in his hands. He can wrestle. He just doesn't really use it. Defensive wrestling isn't the greatest. So this is another tough one for me where I can't really land on a side. I could see it going both ways. And when it's like that, I just think there's a finish in this fight. I mean,
yeah,
I like the under. I like violence in this fight. I can't really land on a winner, but for the show, I'm gonna pick Spivak. I think Spivak probably gets the takedowns and probably just is able to find a finish on the ground. I'll probably go with the dog shot with Spivak here, and I think this is just a little bit quick of a turnaround for Ante here. He's a PFL guy. I mean, these PFL guys, they come in here and they're just they're not like, you know what I mean. So I'll roll with the veteran UFC guy here to get the job done.
All right. I like it. I really didn't have a strong take on this one coming in because, I do like the grappling upside of Spivak, but I do, like I said, I don't know if he's just cooked. It's kind of tough to back a guy like that, but D'Elia, I don't know how, I don't really know where he's at in the heavyweight division here in the UFC. I mean, the division's pretty bad, but Spivak's one of the, he's been one of the more steady guys, in around the top 10 for quite a while. And he does have that grappling upside, and if he gets it going, I think he looks like $1 million. So I don't mind the dog shot. I'll ride with that with you. But I also, I mean, I like violence too. I mean, I think if Spivak gets on top and just starts raining down punches, he could finish the fight with submission or ground and pound. And if D'Elia stuffs some takedowns and then just starts peppering him on the feet, Spivak's a guy that he's been knocked out. He's looked really bad against some decent strikers. So I could see him getting knocked out too. So I like the violence aspect, but I'll roll with the dog shot with you as well.
Yeah.
All right, moving right along here. We've got a pretty good one here, especially considering the odds. Featherweight bout. We got Dan Ige taking on Melky Costa. Costa's looked pretty good. I mean, he's shown that he's pretty well rounded. One thing he doesn't have terrible cardio, but I have seen him slow down later in fights. And Ige, he's a guy, he's fought most of the best guys at this division. He's got big power in his hands. His problem most of the time is his volume. He's not always very high volume, but he's always game. He's always in the fight right till the end. So yeah, I mean, this one's interesting to me with Ige. I think he was plus 180. It's a pretty big number on a guy like that. But what are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, Dan 100K Ige. I guess he said he's changing his name to 100K.
Yeah, I saw
that. Do that. You gotta come with you gotta bring it.
Yeah.
And Ige, I mean, I like Dan Ige as a fighter. I'm a fan of his style. I mean, he's just like you said, he's low volume. That's another thing. He kind of just sometimes sits there and kind of just watches you, but really good technical striker, good boxing, decent little pop in his hands. He can't hurt you on the feet. I don't know what the fuck was up in his last fight. I mean, his last fight against Pitbull was one of the worst performances I've seen from him. I mean,
yeah,
it was just, he looked terrible in that fight. It was just bad, coming off of, I mean, Sean Woodson, who, I mean, that's a pretty good win. Sean Woodson was on a decent little run, and he put a halt to that, and Lerone Murphy, who's looked like $1 million, he dropped and rocked Lerone Murphy in the first round. He had some success against Lerone Murphy. And he's he's the hero. He saved the day. He took the Diego Lopez fight on fucking short notice. You know what I mean? So
fight day notice
on the night of 1 day notice. So I mean, he's a hero. He's a G. I'm a fan of Danny Ige. It's just sometimes, can you trust him, man? Sometimes he's just in there just staring at guys, just not doing anything. That's my worry with backing Ige. You know what I mean? It's just throw your hands. You have good striking. You have good boxing. Let it go. He just doesn't do it sometimes. And then Costa. I mean, Melky Costa. I like what I've seen. From him. I was kind of high on him, and then like he ran into that Steve Garcia fight where he kind of tried to grapple, didn't work out, gassed, and then just got nuked, got destroyed and flatlined in that fight. And then, but since then, like he's came back and he's made the adjustments and he's looked really good. He's got good striking, good power in his hands, and good power in his legs, as we've seen from his last fight. Good head kicks, good body kicks. I mean, really good striker. Up and coming. He can wrestle too. He's got some decent wrestling. Not the greatest wrestler. I don't think that's really his game, but he can. I've seen him wrestle before, and he's got some slick grappling. But I think this is probably going to just be two strikers standing on the feet and banging it out. But is it Danny Ige going to show up and let his hands go? And if he does, I mean, the value is on the plus 180 it looks good. You know what I mean? But I just think Mel is just he's in his bag right now. He's made the improvements. He's streaking right now. He's the younger guy. I want to back Danny. I don't mind a Danny Ige plus 3.5. I could see it being a close fight. I definitely think Ige wins the round, but I like Melky here. I'm going to probably back Melky. It's just I kind of want to back Dan Ige, but at the plus money. But I don't know, man. He's another guy that might just be cooked, man. I don't know. I'm going to roll with Melky here. Probably Melky by decision.
Yeah, I don't think Dan's cooked. I was not that last performance was not great. But Pitbull is a guy that's got power. He is dangerous. And I will say, even in that fight, Ige looked pretty good in the third round. That was his best round. He kind of turned it up a little bit there. Overall the performance it wasn't great. But again, that a lot of the times when Dan Ige loses, it's just because he just doesn't do enough. I mean, that's kind of always been the problem with him. That's why he just never really got to that next level. But I still like him. I think he's got the power. He's definitely got the power to hurt Melky. And overall, I think if he's just a little bit more active, I think the fight's competitive overall. I think down the stretch, he's going to have the better cardio, so it just matters if he gets one of those first two rounds. So I'm taking the shot on Dan Ige. I think it's a pretty decent bounce back spot. I like betting Ige as an underdog. He's, even that Sean Woodson fight, I think he was an underdog in that fight. Got the knockout there. And I mean, he's lost to some of the best guys, guys that like Lerone Murphy, who should be fighting for a title. Diego Lopez, who obviously has fought for the title twice. So it's just Danny Ige at that money line. To me, worth the shot. So I'll take the shot on Diego.
Yeah, I thought about it. I thought long and hard about that. It's just is it just going to be like a value, or he wins a round, makes it close, and just doesn't have enough?
Well, like you said, I mean, the plus 3.5, that's, you're not going to get plus money on that, but you're not going to get a terrible. You're not going to get
probably good. Could be a good parlay piece.
Yeah. So that's not a
Yeah,
bad way to look at it either.
I mean, Dan Ige, you would think he's good for a round, but
it's
just that pit bull fight just.
Yeah.
I lost a lot of money on him in that pit bull fight. I just,
wasn't great.
No.
But you know, he fights a lot, and sometimes you just have those off nights. So I'm hoping that's the case. But even so, like the plus 3.5, if you bet that, or you bet Melky. I mean, if I'm Melky, more than likely it's by decision, I think, because Dan Ige is tough as nails.
Dan Ige is pretty tough. Yeah.
And then you'd have a live opportunity if you wanted to jump in. So yeah, I mean, it's a good fight. It's a really good fight. We're kind of going to figure out, is this going to be a passing of the torch? Is Ige going to take that step down and Melky kind of step his way up to those top echelon guys? Or does Dan just kind of gatekeep a little bit and push him back? But we'll find out Saturday night, and we'll move on. We'll move along to the next fight here, which to me, I feel pretty good about. I'm kind of hoping we're on the same page on this one. Got a welterweight bout between Jeff Neal taking on Uros Medic. Medic has, he's shown a lot more than I thought he was. What I thought he was in the UFC. Still I have question marks with him. And then we got Jeff Neal, who's, he's always been one of the top guys in the division. Coming off a pretty tough knockout to Carlos Prates. But I will say, going back and rewatching that, he had some nice moments in that first round. I mean, he looked pretty good. He was landing some good shots. To me, I'm pretty high on Neal. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, when you get an Uros Medic fight, it's most likely not 100% likely it's not going to the card. So it's always violence with Uros. I don't think he's ever been to a decision. He's kill or be killed. He's going to go out there. He's going to throw big power shots. He's going to try to take your head off, or he's going to get knocked out himself, which we've seen before. Yeah, I mean he's a good hammer, kind of a bad nail. Another one of these guys, So yeah. If he can't land that big KO shot, then I think he's probably cooked here. And I think Jeff Neal's he's a good fighter. I mean, I like his style. I mean, he fought Ian Gary tooth and nail. I mean, he gave Shavkat some problems in their fight. I mean, a little bit. He took to the last seconds of the third round for Shavkat to get the finish there. And then the Prates fight, I had Prates KO 2-3, and he gets knocked out with 1 second left in the round, which was heartbreaking. So yeah, I mean, but like you said, he was kind of holding his own and just got caught early in that Prates fight. But yeah, we know what we're getting out of Jeff Neal. I mean the Vicente Luque fight. I mean, he absolutely pretty much altered Luque's career in that fight. Yeah, Jeff Neal, really good striker, really good boxing. I don't think we're going to really see any wrestling here. So, I mean, I think it's going to pretty much play out on the feet. And yeah, I like the technical boxing and striking of Jeff Neal here to land that big shot on Medic and put him away. But, Medic is always live, so you can always land that big shot. And we don't know where Jeff Neal, another guy we don't know where he's coming. A lot of stuff leaked out into the news where he had substance abuse problems, and he's finally sober, and which is good. Yeah, I mean he seems positive coming in here. He's stopped drinking, stopped doing drugs. So we'll see how that. It's kind of amazing that he fought all those fights where he was getting fucked up till right up to the fight. He was still able to perform like that. So. He's cutting that out of his life, which, that should be a good thing for him. So we'll see how he does here. I think he knocks out Medic. I think he puts him away.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is a levels fight. Medic he's got power. Definitely has had a better run in the UFC than I would have expected. But
levels, though, like you said, this is Jeff Neal's on a different level, I think, than Medic.
I mean, Jeff Neal's losses, outside of the Prates loss because he got knocked out, but like that Shavkat fight, I mean, he gave Shavkat everything. You could argue he beat Ian Gary. You know, he looked good in that fight. Yeah, I mean the guy's good. He's elite. You know, he hasn't been able to quite get those big wins to get that championship run, but he's right there. I mean, the losses are to just really good guys. I mean, even the Pratchett, I know he got knocked out. It wasn't great, but that's another guy that's you know, title contender all day. So yeah, I like Jeff Neal, and like you said, Medic fights don't go the distance. So I expect Jeff Neal to win by finish here. All right, that brings us to our main event. We got a pretty good one here. Basically, clash of styles. Although Hernandez will put up a lot of volume, he's just, you know, his go-to is the grappling. Taking on Sean Strickland, who, you know, former champ, who only wants to strike. He has no interest in grappling whatsoever. It's a good one, man. To me, it all comes down to, does Fluffy get those takedowns going, and can he avoid? My main thing is, can he avoid a big body shot from Strickland? I think the weakness that he's shown is to the body. But yeah, I think this is a great fight. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, definitely a style clash. You know, we know what Strickland's bringing to the table. We know his style is jab, teep, point fight. You know, walk forward, throw volume. Not really much power behind it. We've seen him knock out guys before. I mean, we've seen him hurt, you know, Israel Adesanya in their fight. You know, it's just like, where is he at? He hasn't fought in a year. He's coming off that suspension where he ran in the cage and tried to fucking beat up the fighter after he told him to suck his whatever after he won. He beat his friend or whatever, and then he got suspended or whatever. So yeah, he's coming off the suspension, and we haven't seen him since the last Duplessis fight, where, you know, arguably I thought he won the first Dricus fight, and then the second fight, I mean, he looked like not himself in that fight. He threw no volume. He looked terrible, and yeah, I mean, he broke his nose, and we haven't seen him since that fight. But, you know, generally, you know, really good. No good takedown defense, but he can get taken down. But, you know, it's hard to, you know, hold him down because, you know, there's a lot of stories you hear, like, you know, Sean Strickland's like a really good wrestler. Like that's kind of what he does. I mean, he's really like they talk about in the gym. Like you see interviews that he does or that the Nixick does or whatever. Like he's a really like strong wrestler. He just doesn't use it. He wants to just go out there and kind of just you know, kind of brawl, you know. But he just has no power and just, you know, he's just, you know, just a kind of a point fighter. No, we've seen him crack though before, but yeah, it's going to be interesting. And you know, what we get from Fluffy, who's on a nice run here, streaking. You know, he had that big fight he was supposed to fight Reinier de Ridder, which he probably would have absolutely ran through de Ridder that night. You know, he probably would have got a title shot with that, maybe. But yeah, he had to pull out because of injury. And like you see the interviews he's doing, it's like he's like, yeah, I couldn't even walk for like 3 months. You know, after that injury, it was really bad. And you know, he doesn't want to disclose what the injury was because people. So it's obviously still kind of hurting him. You know what I mean? So that's never really like good. You know, right. When you have that kind of injury coming in. But yeah, we know his style. He's going to pressure forward. He's going to throw volume. He's going to try to get in the hips. He's going to get to your back. He's going to get to your legs. He's going to try to drag you down. He's going to pretty much try to maul you and just, beat you up and just try to smash you. And like you said, we've seen him hurt to the body like numerous times. That's one of his soft spots. He kind of has like a beer belly, and he can be like hit and hurt to the body. And that's an interesting thing here where like those Strickland throws a lot of teep kicks to the body, which I think would be a smart game plan for Strickland to land those teeps. Yeah. But it's like, man, I don't know if he's going to be able to keep Fluffy off him. I think the constant pressure and Fluffy is just going to be too much. It's. I think that just the pace, the pressure. Both guys really strong cardio. Both guys are known for being cardio monsters. So that's another interesting aspect of this. Both guys are not going to get tired, and I think it's going to be a pretty interesting fight. But yeah, I'm picking Fluffy's able to get takedowns, able to get him down. I don't know, hold him down, but I think get him down and hold him down for periods to where he's doing more damage than when Strickland is on the feet, just jabbing him. I think Fluffy's going to land the more significant strikes and power. So, yeah, give me Fluffy here. I'm already on Fluffy. I've parlayed Fluffy with something earlier in the week, so I'm already on him, money line. So, yeah, I like Fluffy. Probably by decision too. I like the overs here. Yeah, and Fluffy by decision. But I could see a late finish. Fluffy getting a late sub or something.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because that's one thing. I mean, I guess the Drickus fight, we did see Strickland getting taken down over the course of a long fight, but it's not something we really see too often. So you don't really know how his cardio.
You can't hold him down. You can't hold him down. That's the thing.
It's tough it is tough to hold him down. But like you said, Strickland did not look good in that Drickus fight. And he did get taken down 6 times. And, he got his nose broken pretty bad. And you got to give him credit. He fought through that for quite a while in that fight. So obviously that was probably a big hindrance. But, yeah, it'd be interesting to see if, Fluffy does have that success.
Did you hear his midweek interview?
I heard bits and pieces.
Oh, man, this guy, he's crazy.
I almost feel like at this point, he's trying.
No, I think that's how he feels.
I do think that's how he feels, but I think he's like he really wants to make sure he says stuff.
He just doesn't give a fuck. He's on Paramount and he's like, man, fuck. Probably fuck Paramount and just let it rip, Yeah.
Guys, he's crazy, dude. He's nuts. But yeah, I mean, I like Fluffy. I think he gets it done. I do worry that he gets caught with something to the body and it hurts him. But outside of that, I mean, he does have decent striking. He puts up good volume in all of his fights. I mean, for a grappler, he's landing a lot of strikes in every fight. So he's not just trying to take guys down and hold them down. He gets them down. Even if he's got him on a knee, he's standing there, punching. And so he's very active. Just, I don't know. I like him. I mean, I like to watch him. I think he's a tough kid. And yeah, he's a strange character, man. He's talking about, he just wants to, get to a championship, make a lot of money and buy some land and just not talk to anybody for the rest of his life. So he's a strange dude, but that also doesn't sound bad. Just living somewhere and, being by yourself with your family and, not the worst life in the world to want to live. But yeah, I like Fluffy. I think he gets it done. I think Strickland, he's been through a lot of wars over the course of time. He's going to start to diminish, and potentially we see that here. So, all right, that's all the fights broken down. You want to do we
do a parlay.
Oh, we do a parlay first, yeah.
Yeah, DFS, whatever one first. I'm ready when it.
We can do the parlay. I'll pull up DFS when we're talking. Because DraftKings, man, I don't know.
I don't really have any props out. That's the thing right now. I don't have props for much.
Let me see if because
all right, I got my leg. Or go. You go first.
Right. So my leg was just going to be the Jeff Neal.
Oh, you motherfucker!
All right, so we like that leg. Let's see if we can. Let's see if we can just figure something out on the fly here. Jeff Neal knockout.
Jeff Neal knockout. And we want to do something a little more. Hold on. And the under 2.5 in the Spivak fight. You like that?
I like that.
Plus 145.
Okay. I could do that.
Yeah, I like that one. Yeah, Jeff Neal by KO and the under 2.5 in the Spivak fight. Plus 145. Like it.
All right. Solid.
Yeah.
Solid.
All right, DFS. DFS is tricky this week. I've been looking at it. You're gonna have to play some guys you don't feel comfortable playing. This is not like you're gonna have to take some shots here on some guys. Like, and it's not comfortable shots, you know.
Yeah.
I just think we lock in Jeff Neal.
Yep. Love that.
Um,
I'd say you probably lock in Fluffy.
Yeah, Fluffy.
If he wins, he's scoring a ton of points.
Yeah. And what about Puna?
I was just gonna
Do you
say
like
that.
Puna or Chidi better? I think Puna.
I think so. They're right around the same price.
Yeah, they're the same price.
Well, yeah, like looking back at Chidi's scores, he's cracked 100. Early on, he had a couple.
Yeah, I think we go Puna. We go Puna.
Puna. I like Puna.
118 against Rednikov, 130 against Medic, 169 against Aiza. Yeah, I think we go Puna here. Yeah.
Yeah, Puna.
So the cores: Neal, Hernandez, and Puna.
Yep.
Good.
I like that. I feel that's the most confident that I felt for 3 fighters since we started this. So that's good.
Yep.
All right, and then we had the Neal KO under 2.5 in the Spivak fight.
Yep.
All right.
145. We're ready to go. Locked and loaded. Big boxing this week. Big fights. Let's have a weekend.
We got NASCAR as well, so we got a lot. So it's gonna be fun. And I think Keg's gonna be live pretty much all day on Saturday.
Private show. So I think
show.
Is it private? I think so.
I think
so.
so.
I think it's a private show. Yeah. So
yeah, that's it. Got a new look, Keg and Co. And we're on. We're off and running in 2026. And tune in. Look us up on all the socials. And we will see everybody Saturday. Johnny, if you got anything else, let us know. You good? All right.
Good.
All right. Thanks for tuning in. Give us a like, give us a follow, and good luck this weekend. We're out.